us to examine the phrase live in the spirit and be in the spirit, walk in the spirit. When we talk about live in the spirit, we talk about when we are in the spirit, when we say somebody is in the spirit, we are talking about being in Christ. When we're in the spirit, you are in Christ. In Romans chapter 8, verse 9, Romans chapter 8, verse 9, it says, but ye are not in the flesh, but in the spirit, if so be that the Spirit of God dwells in you. Now if any man have not the Spirit of Christ, he is not his. It says, ye are not in the flesh, but in the spirit, if only the Spirit of Christ that dwells in you. So when you are born again, you are born into the spirit. You are in the spirit. Now that one is also different from walking in the spirit. Walking in the spirit means living by the dictates of the spirit, living in submission to the spirit. And that one you can find that one in Galatians chapter 5, verse 16, and then verse 24. Verse 16 says that, this I say then, walk in the spirit, and we shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Verse 24 says that, verse 25, if we live in the spirit, let us also walk in the spirit. In other words, if we are born again, we are born into the spirit, let us also walk in the spirit. See, when you walk, it means that there's movement. It talks about growing. It talks about following. It talks about obeying. It talks about living by the dictates of the spirit. So to be in the spirit is to be in Christ, to be born again. But to walk in the spirit is to walk after the dictates of the spirit. Now there's another way in the Bible where be in the spirit simply means to enter the spirit realm. John said in Revelation chapter 1, verse 10 going, he said, I was in the spirit on the Lord's day, and heard behind me a great voice as of a trumpet. I was in the spirit. What I was trying to say was that he was not in this physical world, he was having a spiritual experience. And chapter 4 also said the same thing. He said, immediately I was in the spirit, and the door was open in heaven. So to be in the spirit will also mean that you enter the spirit realm either through a vision or a dream or through a spiritual encounter. So you are in the spirit when you are born again, you live in the spirit, then you walk in the spirit when you follow after the dictates of the spirit. And then to be in the spirit is when you enter the spirit realm, have a spiritual experience.